Jungle.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Aaron Gomez, joined with Keanu. Welcome to another week of Movie Talk. So today, well, actually this week, so it was a little bit of scrap, some news. We're kind of just getting it together, but me and Keanu were just talking, and we're kind of excited for Spider-Man Far From Home because we just got our tickets, but it kind of didn't catch me that like July 4th is next week, and plus we do have Stranger Things, which I completely forgot because that trailer dropped sporadically, and I was like, oh, wait, we do have Stranger Things because I was kind of used to the idea like, oh, it's going to come in October. But it was a July release.
Right.
Besides that, sky's the limit for actually next week. So, I mean, if we start off with movie news, it's kind of like minor things, but like, Game of Thrones, the prequel started to roll out, and they're filming in Ireland, but there's no specific details, but like one key component is going to be roughly set 5,000 years before the events of GOT. I still can't believe Game of Thrones is over. Like, do you feel like there's something empty, like some sort of void, and you're just like, it's over, but it's in your mind, you feel like it's not?
I don't for this because I was like I got on it kind of late, so it's still it was so fresh to me that it's just like, oh, okay, now it's over. I usually feel that way about shows I'm really into and really passionate about. So I definitely know how you feel. I just don't necessarily have it with GOT.
Yeah, because I think okay. So the producers, obviously, we've mentioned this a bunch of times, they're gonna go do Star Wars, and I see with GOT. Like, I obviously went through like rumors and theories about how it's gonna end and blah blah blah. And I kind of made this idea of like how it should end, but then it kind of ended abruptly, in my opinion. But I still just feel like it's not done. It just felt like it left so fast, and like we used to do Game of Thrones reviews for episodes, and that used to hype me up. And now I'm just like, wow, it's actually over, and I'm still like putting memes about it. It's just kind of funny to bring it up. And now that we're having a prequel, which is 5,000 years before the events of the original, I'm kind of like, okay, are we gonna see the Targaryens like at their prime? Like, I'm assuming we are.
Right.
There's no real material to like go off of because the only prequel I could think of from the books is the Dunk and Egg series, which is 90 years before GOT, not 5,000. So it's just like spin-offs, like they never really hold up. This is Game of Thrones. Do you think this is gonna like break the wheel and like break the curse to like become like the next like on par with Game of Thrones?
Or would it have if it ended stronger? Like now the question is, if it isn't successful, is it not successful because it's a spinoff and spinoffs inherently aren't successful? Or is it that it wasn't successful because the ending of GOT soured the water for a lot of people, the water for a lot of people?
Well, and just to add on what you said, like it's a spinoff, but also like it's a prequel. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like it's a prequel in a way where you can't predict the story because this is a whole nother generation.
Yeah.
Because like prequels, like say, I don't know,
like The Hobbit, like
Yeah.
what happened, like Frodo gets the ring, like, what I'm saying, Bilbo's fine because he's in the beginning of the Lord of the Rings. So that type of prequel, it's expected what happens because the characters that are alive. So if they introduce a character in the prequel, you're going into it like, okay, well, they're gonna die or something's gonna happen to them, like where they're basically dead because they're not in the next one. So luckily, I mean, in a lucky sense, it's set so far in the past, you don't have to worry about, oh, this is expected, because it's like, well, this is so far in the past that whatever happened is so separate. It's like it's almost like a different universe because it's so much time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I got to see a preview as usual, and it's just like the spin-off and prequel curse. We'll see how it goes. And I just like, are they going to do the White Walkers at all? Like, are they going to do, I'm guessing they're going to do Valeria, which is like the home of the Targaryens and all that stuff. And like, what's the budget? because like Game of Thrones started to slip and go a different direction once they didn't have material to go off of, like so
Right.
George R. Martin's books, and this is like anecdotal, but I mean this is kind of like a group consensus thing. Like it started to get more Hollywood, even though the seasons after past the books were enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie, like they did have good fight scenes and all that stuff. It just felt like a basic rhythm of a typical story with a climax and hero saves the day type of thing. Um, let's see. They really didn't say anything besides like they didn't say anything about the release date, but they had some showrunners such as Jane Goldman, who's on it, and S.J. Clarkson, who did Jessica Jones, to helm the pilot. So Jane Goldman's from X-Men First Class, so it's kind of interesting what they've rounded up. And the thing is, like, who's going to be producing it and stuff, and like how involved is George R. R. Martin? Because he's doing so many other books. Like,
And he's doing a video game.
he's doing a video game.
Yeah, he's doing a video game with the makers of Dark Souls.
Oh yeah. Okay, I did hear about that. Yeah,
Oh, Elden Ring. I think it's called like Elden Ring or something.
yeah, I did hear about. He needs to like
He
narrow
needs to
his
finish
stuff
the
down.
damn books.
Yeah, finish the books because he's doing a lot of. Besides the video game, he's doing books to the GOT world, but not the main narrative. So it's kind of like,
Which I think
what
is like
are you
so
doing?
rude.
It's so rude. It's like a fuck you to like the audience. Like, oh, I just want to do what I want to do, but he's already old. So it's like, I mean, I'd be interested in a prequel, and especially if it's HBO. And that's the thing is, I feel like this series can be an exception for spinoffs. On like, I don't know, maybe like Better Call Saul. Like, even though that's a good show, like I feel like this can be an exception for like the crowd. But who knows?
Yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, can you think of any successful spin-offs in recent history? And I feel like Better Call Saul is like is the first one that comes to mind. Like it's the like it has
Yeah.
it. I think it has pretty much the same amount of critical praise from, the general audience and from the critics themselves as Breaking Bad. I don't think it's as large, or what's not as large of a following or not as largely talked about, but it is as critically acclaimed. I think it is. So that's a good example. But can you think of any other spin-offs or prequels that were super successful? I only think of comedies. I only think of like a comedy here or there that like Frasier from Frasier was from Cheers, right?
yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
from Cheers. Yeah, I was
So like
thinking that.
besides like that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Well, I'm thinking. Okay, so did you watch Fear the Walking Dead? That's
I
the-
don't. I think I did.
Yeah,
I think I
see-
would give it a try, and then I was like, nah.
Yeah, see, like that. I was gonna say that because I don't watch it, but I hear it's good enough where they've had a good amount of seasons. I actually heard it's actually better than Walking Dead from like a couple people, and not that it means
I've heard
anything,
similar.
but yeah, I've heard good things, and there's like a reason why they're they've been going for a couple seasons now, so it's like it's
Yeah, I
not
think
like,
I think they're on like season 4 or 5.
that's significant. That's very significant. If you can go past season 3, like I think that's like enough, like pretty established that you have a fan base and stuff like that.
Right.
It's GOT. It has a huge fan base, and I think it depends on timing too. I feel like they need to get this out like as soon as possible. But like, yeah, you're completely right with the bad taste. Like, it did the ending of GOT like sour the water and ruin it for like the rest of the other properties that are coming out, because they're not just talking about like one GOT series, like a couple. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's kind of like you're just milking the series, but who knows? So
I think
we're
it's a pretty safe thing to say that no matter what, regardless of the taste it leaves, no matter what the situation, it won't be as popular as the actual GOT.
yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and especially there's supposed to be a spinoff with the White Walkers and like learning about them. But it's like, why would you want to have a spinoff series about something that didn't last that long or have a big character arc, in GOT,
Mhm.
like the main
Yeah.
narrative? It's just weird. But I mean, do what they want to do. Whatever. We'll actually get into like like movie news. Like, so like we'll start off. Kind of been fucking up for a while. Still haven't seen it. I know Keanu hasn't seen it. That I know of. But Dark
No,
Phoenix.
you're correct. You're correct.
Yeah. Dark Phoenix is apparently losing spots in theaters. So it's been out for like 2 weeks or so, and it's only made 208 million worldwide, which is
That's
way
crazy.
below
That's crazy.
below any expectations, and they were at least looking to lose 100 million, and it's going about to be like 200 million lost. So
That's crazy, dude.
yeah, so like things are just getting worse for Dark Phoenix because it's been revealed that it will lose over 1,600 theaters this weekend. This move will be significantly be a dent to how much it will make, but people aren't paying to see it anyway, of course, and Disney would much prefer exhibitors to devote those screens to Toy Story 4, which is completely reasonable. We'll get to that later. That sucks, man. Like they didn't end it in a bang at all, but you ended it in your worst.
They ended that with a whimper. That was like Old Yeller, man. They put it out to pasture. It was a mercy killing.
Yeah, now it sucks because it ended bad. Because okay, this is what Marvel says. They're claiming that we're not gonna see the mutants for a while because of the bad taste that's left. You know.
See, but I don't believe that.
You never know.
I think they're just saying that because like. Okay, Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 had like a shitty response. Like, yes, it made money, but like that had left a bad taste, and they immediately like I did not think that. I knew that Marvel would somehow get Spider-Man, but I did not think that they would release him into the MCU as fast as they did right after they got recast, after they cast Andrew Garfield and did 2 movies. Like, Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, and I feel like it was the next day. I mean, it wasn't, but I feel like it was the next day that Tom Holland was announced to be the next Spider-Man. Like, that was fast. And I know Spider-Man makes more money than the X-Men, but I just don't see Marvel being like, oh, everybody is like angry at Fox from X-Men. We're going to put it on the shelf. Like, I feel they're going to be like, okay, well, let's give it a year. Let's give them a little bit of time. All right, ready, go. Let's drop these bad boys.
Yeah, it's like this is the thing. I think I said this last week. I think our audiences are growing smarter, with the internet, and they know Marvel Studios. I'm just assuming that they know when they see the Marvel only logo, it's not Marvel Studios. Like, I don't think people are dumb where they're like, oh, another X-Men movie. But then once you link it, and obviously Marvel's gonna link it somehow, like with characters within the trailer.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean.
Like just all they have to do is like just throw Nick Fury into it, being like,
exactly.
We have started the Avengers, but now there's more out here. Mutants are, you know what I'm saying? Boom, right there. You're like, oh, right there. Nick Fury's in this. Oh, we gotta see it.
Yeah, because okay, my best and first example would have been Incredible Hulk. Remember when Tony Stark shows up at the end talking to the general?
Yep.
That was like, oh, to everyone, this is a connected universe. Like, it's not just a reboot from Eric Banner, his interpretation of that first Hulk. It's a whole different. It's connected to Iron Man. So that's like it literally doesn't take that much of an effort, I think, to really get this going, because we haven't seen the so our next, like, this is gonna blend into our next topic, because Marvel's gonna be in Hall H this year, and I think WB is not gonna be there. I think WB TV is gonna be there, but this is really like a chance for Marvel to really show off the Phase 4. But so far we've heard what? Black Widow, Shang-Chi, like all these like smaller properties, like they have room for Fantastic Four and X-Men.
Absolutely.
We don't know if they're just yanking our chain, which I think they are, just to like make us think that it's not coming till like 2020, like 3 or 25 or something, like down the line. But like I think it's a great move, because one, having the X-Men back, they can at least focus on them in the comic books more, and just like be, like, especially with like marketing and like selling their products.
The change was like night and day, dude. Like the X-Men went from dead to alive the moment that Disney started talking about buying Fox. Exactly. It was like night and day, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, especially with Marvel Ultimate Alliance coming out, Wolverine's like slathered on the front page.
Right.
Like,
had Disney not bought Fox, that wouldn't have happened.
Be there. No, it
wouldn't.
And
the Fantastic Four DLC, that would have been a wet dream of a comic book nerd.
I know, just like, but like, especially like for comic books in general, like now that Marvel can, like, they had these properties, they can focus on the material as well and really focus on it without having to think like, oh, Fox owns this, why are we marketing for them?
Exactly.
I mean?
Exactly.
It's a good thing to see. And dude, Ultimate Alliance is like only 2-3 weeks away, and I can't wait. I have to pre-order it still, because apparently it comes with a poster for if you order it from GameStop. So why the hell not? But like,
Yeah, because I mean, you're gonna get it anyway, so we might as well get a poster with it.
yeah, like I can't wait. Like I just recently got a Switch and I'm still hooked on it.
I gotta
Um,
ask you. I keep forgetting.
yeah. I was gonna ask you Splatoon or Breath of the Wild because I'm thinking about do I get a
E-
single player game or do I get another
right.
multiplayer?
If you already have a multiplayer, then Breath of the Wild.
Okay, because I have Smash and I have Monster Hunter, so I have two
Yeah, for
multiplayer.
now, yeah, those are two really strong multiplayer games. Splatoon is amazing, don't get me wrong, but if you have
Dude,
two
I've been
multiplayer
waiting to
strong
play that.
multiplayer games, then you
Yeah.
got to get Breath of the Wild.
All right. After this episode, I'm gonna go pick up Breath of the Wild. Fuck it.
Hey.
But like we were talking, Marvel is gonna be in Hall H. Pretty much what they gave us they gave Disney slate for it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on like Marvel being in Hall H? You think you think it's a missed opportunity for WB because obviously WB is doing what PlayStation's doing for E3,
Mhm.
missing it this year, and I don't know. Like so Sam from who's Falcon, blah blah blah. He also added that his cap's gonna be different. But like I'm expecting to like hear more on like the Disney Plus properties when it comes to Marvel Hall H.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I can't really be excited because I don't know what's coming. Do you know what I mean? Besides the Eternals and Shang-Chi and Black Widow, but I feel this slate's gonna be underwhelming.
Yeah, I feel like as far as we know, it feels like it's going to be underwhelming. I feel like they definitely can. Uh, well, it depends on how they play it. Like we know they have all these dates set up. We know they're doing Black Panther 2. We know we're doing Doctor Strange 2. We're fans of them. We enjoy those films. So I think if they show if they officially announce and show development art or whatever for Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Black Widow, it'll be like, okay, fine.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I think they'll
exactly.
show Disney Plus and you'll be like, all right, cool. We still got these characters we love. Then they might be like, but wait, there's these sequels coming. And we'll be like, okay, cool. We like these characters too. But I do feel like they will need one announcement that of either a returning character, a
Or a
returning
new one.
franchise, or a big name character who hasn't appeared yet for this to be like, oh man, MCU still at it. I don't think anyone will be like, I don't think anyone will lose faith, but like you said, it'll be kind of like lackluster if they
Mhm.
don't have something surprising, which in my opinion would be something like a Nova movie or I mean, obviously Fantastic Four X-Men, but that's way too soon. But like a character like Nova or a character like what's another character like people want?
They did talk about Nova for a while. They were saying that was like James Gunn's like territory. I don't know. That's been talked about a lot, but I don't know what interpretation they're gonna go for of Nova, like Kid Nova, or especially it's gonna be cool because his planet was destroyed apparently when
I
Thanos
think
got the
they'll go
Power
with Richard
Stone.
Rider
Yeah, who
because
knows?
I
I
think
really don't.
they're pretty
I have no clue.
they're pretty smart. The one thing I can say about the MCU is it's pretty smart about like integrating the right stuff from the recent comics. Like they don't seem like they don't seem like they're pressured to um like bringing the fresh characters in. Like we saw it, like Miss Marvel isn't being shoved down our throats or something. Like Miles Morales isn't there, so it doesn't seem like they're like, oh, we got it, these characters are like social justice, or these characters are a new take, we got to involve them. It seems like the MCU is committed to legacy characters and like the OGs. So I would pretty much place a pretty safe bet that I mean, the only one I can think of is Captain Marvel, right? But she's also been a major part of the Marvel Comics universe for decades. And the original Captain Marvel hasn't been around since he died of cancer in like the 90s or whatever. So
Mhm.
that's still like 2 decades worth of material that they can draw on. So I think it'll be Richard Rider. And yeah, like you said, Xandar was decimated when Thanos got the stone. So but wait. Oh no, yeah, because I forgot. Time travel didn't change that. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's set up. Yeah, for a second I was like, wait, Back to the Future. No, wait, Back to the Future lied.
that's
Uh, they definitely set the film definitely set up Nova. They definitely like you know what I'm saying, like they perfectly set it up.
I'm just trying to think. Like, do you agree? Wait, do you really think that Fantastic Four it's too early for them? Because like, there's a lot of like steam that's picking up these past couple weeks. But like some of them I didn't take serious because they were like, oh, John Krasinski, blah blah blah. Like that's been in talks for a while, but like for some reason they've been showing up on the internet and like Instagram, like again, like I'm saying within like days ago. I don't know.
I personally don't think it. Like I hope they show it, but I think from a business perspective, I think the biggest thing we have to go off of is the fact that legally speaking, Marvel couldn't officially do anything with the franchise until that deal was finished.
Uh,
They couldn't play like it was against the law for them to work on that stuff. So it's kind of like they have to like they have to hedge their bets. They have to protect themselves, and they have to, even if they were secretly working on it, they can't announce it too early because, like, who knows what like some random legal person will be like, oh, why did Marvel have this ready? Like, were they working on it before the deal was done? Were they doing inside or whatever? So I feel like because of that, because there was that law, there was that technicality. I feel like That's why I feel like it's too soon.
yeah. I'm just trying to draw in my head like what other characters they're trying to like.
Yeah,
Are
I
we
don't know why
gonna
I'm
go
having
full
such a hard time
cosmic?
to think. Yeah,
No, I no, but like I don't blame you because Nova was mentioned before, and then we also heard like Moon Knight, like a little tidbit about that. But like, how small are we gonna like go back before we hit another Avengers movie? You know what I mean?
right.
Um,
I think they need to announce. I think they need to announce a team up movie, another team up movie at Hall H. I don't, and I think it shouldn't be Avengers because we need, like they said, they want to create that gap and we want a ending. But I think they need to find another team, whether it's, I don't know, man. Like I would say Defenders, but
no,
but they have
yeah,
the
you
TV
can't,
show. So
and
like,
you can't say like West Coast Avengers or like
right, you need
I
something,
can't.
something a little bit different, but also enough, but like with the familiar aspects that people still want. Hmm.
I'm really trying to think. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like a Marvel Knights thing. I don't know. They wouldn't even go that route because it's like I think that's a little too violent. But
But that, you know what?
that'd be cool.
That would give me hype. A Marvel
It,
Knights film, that would give
because
me hype.
it's a smaller scale thing. It's not like end of the world. It's more like
Right.
within a city.
But it's like big enough characters. You're like, yeah, let's do this.
That would be cool. Now that I think about it, but we already did Defenders, which is the thing. Like, it's not the
Right.
prime. It's not the first time it's been done, and obviously people are gonna have comparisons to it. You know,
Hmm.
um, I'm still struggling because okay now something came up in my head. Adam Warlock, like how they're Guardians 3, and is
I feel
Thor
like it has to
gonna
be in
join
Guardians
them?
3.
Yeah, at this point, but is Thor gonna be with them too? Like
I
plus
hope
like
so. They definitely set it up.
they did set it up, but Chris Hemsworth is like playing dumb, saying, "Oh, I would love to be in Guardians." I'm like, well, I feel like he's just trying to like hide that stuff, like just trying to say something to put it out there that like, oh, nothing's confirmed, but like, oh, I'd love to be there. And plus with Adam Warlock's storyline without the Infinity Stone, so it's like
Yeah, yeah,
for
I didn't
such
think of that.
for a big character, it's like where are you gonna take? Where are you gonna go from here? And plus, you do have the sequels. You have your Doctor Strange 2, which is gonna happen because it's been talked about. Black Panther's a no-brainer. Um, but within like this whole time, like this whole period or Phase 4, I'm just curious because like how's this like Shang-Chi? Is it gonna tie with Shang-Chi? Like I don't know how this like they
And
always said this.
Where's Black Widow at in all this? Like, where is this prequel film at? Like, what pertinence will this have to Phase 4?
Yeah, and
It has to have, it has
no
to
one's
have
confirmed
one.
anything. And no one confirmed anything. Only rumors we've said these past couple episodes. With Sebastian Stan saying it's between Infinity War and Civil War. So it's like, okay, but that's not confirmed. But how is
Right.
that? Yeah, like you said, how is that going to be pertinent to the stakes of this new phase? And Feige said Phase 4 is going to be completely different. So it's like I'm trying to grasp like what's going on because they have to reel people back in, post
Yeah.
Endgame because that was
Yeah.
such a that's the expectations are so high. It's like I feel like I said this before. weeks ago, this is like an ending for me. Endgame was an ending. Like, I'd be okay to not see Marvel movies ever again because it's a storybook ending. But you know us, like, we're gonna watch them, like, keep going. And I don't know, but like, we'll bleed on to the next topic. So it's like, besides the Marvel universe, like, there was hot topics of Venom being in the MCU. It was mainly the Spider-Man sequel. And despite like it's getting destroyed by critics, it was still a success for Sony. And Cinema Blend talked to Feige, and he said that it seems likely, but that decision is ultimately lies with Sony Pictures. He continues to say in this quote, "I think it's probably up to Sony. Sony has both those characters and has Venom in their world. I don't know what their plans are for another Venom or if they're doing that, but it seems likely at this point." So just to build off what he said, Amy Pascal pretty much confirmed in another quote that, like, oh yeah, we're planning to do another Venom movie with Tom Hardy, but she did say everybody would love to see that. You never know, someday it might happen. So she's referencing to Venom crossing over. So, like, what are your thoughts on Venom crossing over to the MCU? I just think it's premature, but I don't know if they're just bullshitting us.
Here's my dream scenario. You know, like every once in a while we have these talks, and I'm like, okay, here's how I would do it.
Yeah.
So here's how I would do it. I think the Venom film is garbage. I think I like Tom Hardy. I like Tom Hardy as Venom. I also think it's. I mean, I love Venom, and I want him and Spider-Man to interact. So I'm forced to deal with the cards I'm dealt, and that means I think the best situation would be Spider-Man crosses over in Venom 2 or 3, whichever one they decide to do, so that Venom isn't ever officially in an MCU film, because I just feel like Feige, you know, and Marvel as a whole likes having control of their characters. So adding a character that's from outside the universe, or outside their studio universe, might just be a bad taste in their mouth. I think they should have Venom 2 or 3 have Spider-Man crossover. I think it should have minimal effect on Spider-Man's storyline in the MCU. I think it should be Tom Holland. I think my dream would be that if the film ends up being a good film, and then what would end up happening is, like, for me as a moviegoer, I would when I watch the MCU films, I would tuck Venom 2 in, like, in between Spider-Man 2 and 3. Like, it would just be like, I would just be like, yeah, I know this is MCU, but I'm just gonna watch this because this has Tom Holland Spider-Man, and it's like in its own corner of the universe, so it technically could be MCU if I want. But I would only do that if the film is good, and if it has Tom Holland being a good Spider-Man. So I think the smart decision, I think the most likely decision would be Sony does. I mean, I don't want Sony to control it. My dream would be Sony goes, hey, Marvel, can you help us out with Venom 2? And Kevin Feige be like, all right, well, you know, Spider-Man's success is our success. Let's help you out. And they help create a really good Venom 2, and Spider-Man appears in that. But like I said, and then, like, even like then what you could do is Venom would be able to have the Spider-Man emblem on him, because like the whole point of Venom 1 is like, oh, he's never interacted with Spider-Man, so they can't do some of his stuff. Like, they can't do the white patches on his the other side of his palm that he shoots webs out of. Yeah, they can't do the big white spider because there's no reason to have that, because it's derived from his time with Spider-Man. So like, I would love Venom 2 deals with Carnage, Venom, and Spider-Man. Spider-Man takes a trip from just like the rumors said for Venom 1. Like, Spider-Man takes a trip from New York for school, another trip, or he sees that there's something that going on that he needs to look into. He's like out of the MCU, like in like literally on vacation, and while he's there, he sees this, you know, like, he sees Carnage, and he can't help but suit up to try to fight him. He interacts with Tom Hardy's Venom. They're at odds at first, but then by the third act, Venom's like, you know what? Spider-Man's like, you know what? We got to work together. And like, before, it could be one of those things where, like, in the second act, the symbiote leaves Hardy either because it likes Spider-Man or because, like, for intel. And in doing that, when he comes back from Spider-Man to Tom Hardy's character, he could bring with him those Spider-Man elements that we're used to at Venom. So it would be like the white patch. It would be the giant white spider. And then they team up in the third act, and Venom looks like Venom from the comics. Spider-Man's in it. They fight against Carnage, and then it ends, and they shake hands, and it's like, all right, this was a fun team up. You hit me up if you're ever in New York, and then that's it.
Damn, Hire this man.
I thought about it, man.
No, but it's true because like honestly, I didn't. I was trying to think, and I'm like, um, did they mention like a time, like this the time frame of Venom? Like, did they firmly establish it was like in 2018, like they stated it? Because what if Venom's like a movie in the future? Like it takes place like
Right.
after all this bullshit, and it's just like then we have like Tom does his trilogy, blah blah blah, and he's like an adult now, you know? Because I still look at him as a baby. So like after Spider-Man 2's done, and then Spider-Man 3, and then it would lean off of what you said. Venom 2 would be him involved, but it's like we already have a matured Spider-Man. He's done college. Like, you know what I mean?
Or at least done high school.
Yeah, because dude, Tom's a baby. Like when I think of the Venom arc, it's Peter's a photographer. He's working for J.K. Simmons, not J.K. Rowling. But it's like I can't see baby Tom next to Tom Hardy. It's just weird. It's just he has such a baby face, and I just don't see him matching up to Tom Hardy yet. Like it's maybe it brings good contrast between them two, but like oh, Eddie Brock hates like a teenage kid. You know what I mean?
I just don't. I will say I don't think there's any way that we get that part of the storyline happening. I just don't.
Yeah.
I think they'll go straight. I think the only way to work is if it kind of goes straight to, you know, them like there. It would be Venom, Spider-Man encounter each other, and they get it. Like if anything, they feel like they get in each other's way, and that's why they form like a rivalry. But I just don't with Venom already being pre-established. I just don't see unless you make it like a whole arc that ends up being, you know, 2 films. I just don't see there being that animosity because like they already set up the Lethal Warrior of Venom, which took place after Spider-Man and Venom were enemies and became frenemies. So I just don't see that part of the storyline happening, unfortunately.
Venom had so many plot holes. It was ridiculous.
Oh, my favorite of the plot holes is the fact that the symbiote is the whatever the enemy symbiote. I forget his name, Rays or whatever.
Yeah.
He just wastes 8 months or however many the time jump. He's wasted like 6 months just in Bangkok, in Shanghai, wherever he's at, just
to get over
jumping
there.
just jumping from person to person. Then he like rides an airplane. Then he like takes another month. Like it's just that part is like that's just poor filmmaking. That's just poor editing because that legitimately makes no sense.
And the part when when they're at the spaceship at the end and he's like, Venom, I need you. Like we have to go. I'm like, what is their mission? Like what? I was just like, why do you need Venom specifically? Because I know. All right, I'm getting the spoiler territory, but it's just like I know what they're trying to do, but like, why is he important? And then I don't know if this is the right symbiote, but Scream, right? It's the yellow symbiote. What happened to the yellow symbiote?
I thought it was gonna be Scream. I thought we were gonna get, but I can't. What did happen? I'm trying to remember now.
I'm trying to remember because all I remember is that the Scream. Okay, I guess that's Scream. I'm not sure, but the yellow symbiote was trying to find a new host, and they were doing trials, and then all of a sudden they didn't mention it ever again, and I'm like, okay,
yeah, I'm trying to remember it now.
Oh, dude, I thought about it after I watched the movie. I was like, where the hell was the other symbiote? Because okay, before the movie came out, they were hyping up a certain, I forget the title, but it was a certain story of Venom that there's gonna be multiple symbiotes, not just.
Oh my god! Yeah, literally, that was the storyline that got me into like comics, kind of. Like I remember, I found that comic and I remember I was like, yo, there's like 6 different Venoms, like, and I have this weird thing, like I have this weird personal thing where like I get excited by color variants of characters. It's really weird. Like it's like if. Like literally, like it was like Venom, and then it was like green Venom, blue Venom, and I find that so cool. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's the designer in me, the graphic designer. Like, but so I remember that storyline, and it was like, yo, there's Scream, there's Riot, there's Phage,
yeah.
And it's like I was so I remember when I read that they were gonna do Venom without Spider-Man. I was like, oh, this is stupid. And then they kept saying that it was gonna be like, oh, it might be inspired by the storyline and the Life Foundation storyline or whatever it is. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's still cool, though, because that's all the different colored Venoms. That's all the different, symbiotes. Mm-hmm. And then they came out with the movie, and they were like, okay, no Scream, no other characters. This second symbiote has no personality. What's happening?
And that's what hyped me up too, because like also besides the symbiotes being there, the Golden Gate Bridge and being in California was like a key part for it to happen. So we're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna see all this. Like this is the storyline base, but yet again, we only get one other symbiote, which I think it was the bad guy was Riot. I think that was Riot. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was right. And then in the comics, the yellow one is Scream. So I don't
Yeah,
know if they ever established in the movie it was Scream, but yeah, in the comics that is Scream.
and that was like a missed opportunity because that was the part that was hyping me up. And then it was funny you said that the rumor that Tom Holland was going to be in it because that was going around. I remember John Schnepp, rest in peace. He was saying that like, oh, there's rumors that Tom Holland was on set, blah blah blah, and he's going to be in it, but like sadly he didn't call it right, and it was just weird. It was just weird. But like what it was like a fun '90s movie. It wasn't really like well developed, but it was just like popcorn movie. Like nothing. I don't know, nothing innovative for the superhero franchise, but whatever. Kathleen Kennedy and Sony. Yet again, we always talk about this because it's like they always have such a weird relationship, and we personally don't know where the lines is like where the lines are, like what you can't cross and what you can. But it's weird because Sony's still having their own Morbius spinoff with Jared Leto. And like,
I don't trust
why?
Sony. I don't trust Sony with the Marvel characters.
Yeah, and I don't trust Jared Leto after Suicide Squad, but like that's a whole different story. But he's always playing weird characters, and
He
what
probably
does
like
Morbius
really
have
drank
to do?
blood for this.
Oh yeah, and he's gonna send dead rats to his cast members again. Like some stupid shit.
So extra.
So extra. But it's like, where does Morbius tie into this? Like you could just honestly just have its own vampire movie and not have to call it Morbius. But yet again, they're going to have to bring money somehow. And of course they're going to tack it on. They're not going to tie Morbius into like Blade or anything. So it's like, Sony, are you still not trusting you? But
Oh, that'd be a cool film to see at the Hall H. Blade.
yeah, but I would freak out, like in excitement, because
that would be dope.
Because I love paranormal shit. Like I love Ghost Rider, like anything paranormal. Like I get so giddy about. But like having like if Blade was introduced, like that just puts a whole new side of the universe. That's just
That'd be
like
hot. That'd be
Blade
dope.
next to Spider-Man. That'd just be oh god, I couldn't even imagine that. That'd be so great. But it's like, if we're going to other news, like, Disney buying Fox, one of the properties, Gambit, was dead in the water. But some other Fox properties are still clinging to life. So according to The Hollywood Reporter, showrunner Noah Hawley, who did Fargo, revealed that he recently had a meeting with the head of Marvel Studios, aka Kevin Feige, and provided an interesting update on the status of his Doctor Doom film. So this was kind of talked about a long time ago, that it was going to be its own movie about Doctor Doom, but like we kind of haven't heard anything since. So if we refer back to Noah, he's done Bones, he's did The Unusuals, he did My Generation, he did Fargo, and he's doing Legion, which is wrapping up with its third season. Film wise, he did The Alibi and Lucy in the Sky. But to read his quote, he said, "I did sit down with Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige recently, and I said that I look at myself as a sort of Marvel R&D department. I know the genre can do all these amazing things to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but my feeling is, what else can we do with it? Can we make it surreal? Can we make it a musical, not as a gimmick? But all of these techniques are about putting you into the subjective experience of these characters." So a while back, he also said this as a quote. He said, "I wrote a script about Doctor Doom, an anti-hero story I really liked, and we're still talking about making it. I'm trying to get out from under this movie I made, and this last season of Legion and Fargo is coming back up. But better or for worse, there are stories that we want to hear right now." So it's like, if he's talking to Kevin Feige, they obviously talked about Doctor Doom. So I don't know.
I don't think it's happening.
I don't think it's gonna happen because it wouldn't make sense, and plus it'd be
Right.
you're just taking
That's some
room
shit.
for
That's some
bigger
shit
characters.
Sony would do.
Yeah, exactly. But
It's a Sony move.
if you're gonna have Doctor Doom, let it be in the Fantastic Four.
Right.
You know,
It's just he's too iconic. Like you have to do it that way.
but it's kind of the thing that raises eyebrows is because it's Noah Hawley, because he's a really good director when it comes to the TV shows, and the fact that he talked to Feige and Feige, does show interest in the script. It's like, I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's cool. I mean, like, what? I don't even know what they're gonna be talking about. Like, Kevin Feige pats him on the shoulder, but he's like, you're not making this fucking movie. Like, did he just say that?
That's what I feel like that's literally what happened.
That's to be blunt, like he probably pat him on the shoulders, like, yeah, that's not fucking happening, And now he's just giving us a quote that's like, oh, I feel like I'm R&D for the Marvel department, but yet again, I just got shot the fuck down. So, who knows? If you're gonna do a Doctor Doom movie, it would be cool to see Latveria and have it tied with and compete with Wakanda, in regards to technology. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But as its own spin-off film, I really don't see much of it coming into fruition. But anything to add? Because I really don't know what to talk about for Doctor Doom.
Nah.
Yeah, because
we did it. We're good.
Yeah, and we still have a bad taste of the Doom from the Fan Four Stick movie, the recent Fantastic Four movie.
I mean, I feel like we summed it up with doing a whole Doctor Doom spin-off film is something Fox or Sony would do. Like that's not what the MCU does. The MCU introduces characters how they're supposed to be introduced with within their team films or within their associated franchises. So Doctor Doom is tied to the Fantastic Four, at least origin-wise. Of course, he becomes this masterful villain later on, but if you're going to do it right, you're going to introduce Doctor Doom with the Fantastic Four. That's just how it is. If not, that's a Sony or Fox move when they're like, oh, we only have 6 characters we can use. Let's give them a spin-off. So
yeah. So some more important news that's actually going to happen. So Endgame's going to get a re-release, and fun fact, it's only $38 million away from unseating Avatar. And although Kevin Feige already
beat its original run, people were like, oh, for anybody that was like, oh, that's cheating, you're re-releasing it.
No, it's not cheating.
Avatar re-released. Well, I think twice actually.
Yeah, it did release twice. I was thinking about that.
Endgame yesterday or today officially passed the original run of Avatar. Mm. So without any re-releases on the table, Endgame beat Avatar. Of course, there's inflation and all that, but just speaking numbers-wise,
exactly.
without any re-release either for Endgame or Avatar, Endgame did it. Endgame beat it. But then Avatar had its re-releases, and it made another 39 million, or 32 or 39 million. Mm-hmm. So that's why if they do this re-release and it beats it, it's the same exact thing as Avatar, because otherwise Endgame beat it without a re-release.
Well, the question is, I don't remember how long Avatar was released for. That.
Oh, it was for 6 years. It was for 8 months. It was some long ass time.
Oh my god. See, that's the thing. It if we talk about timing and everything, Endgame already won. It's just a matter of passing the fucking money amount. And you did point out a good fact, inflation, which is huge. But so Endgame's getting re-released for this weekend. Obviously, that does help Spider-Man, and that it helped Captain Marvel, so because people wanted to catch up. But in addition to it being re-released, the question is what's gonna be there. So apparently, there's gonna be an extra scene, of new content, like a 6-minute deleted scene, and a new intro from the co-director Anthony Russo, as well as a sneak peek from the new Spider-Man film. As an extra incentive, fans will also get a new poster saying "We love you 3000" with Iron Man's power gauntlet with the Infinity Stones. So, is that going to sell you to see it again?
No, it's not. I thought it was going to be more when they said I thought it was going to be I mean, I love the Russos and I love to see that type of stuff, but if I'm paying full price to see it again, I want
extra, at least 20 minutes, 10 minutes, but yeah, it's not really a lot.
I want at least a full 10 minutes. I want to see a scene that has more characters interacting that I never, and a sneak peek at Spider-Man. my guy, Spider-Man comes out like 2 days afterwards. Like, why would I
Why
get
would
a
I want
sneak
to? Yeah,
peek? Why'd I
exactly.
pay to get a sneak peek when it comes out 2 days later?
You know what's also funny too? The new intro from Anthony Russo. I'm like, why the fuck? Like, no offense to him. Like, why the fuck do I want to see him? Like, why?
Right? Why would I only want to see one brother? Can I get the other one? Like, why would you
Yeah,
not do both?
like you didn't,
Just to throw that out there.
and like I get, and the funny thing with this article says, oh, and extra incentive is the poster. I'm like, okay, cool, I guess.
Right, but like,
Like,
that's like, for all that, I could just buy the poster. Like,
exactly.
I'm, this if you're going, it's simply because you want Endgame to be Avatar.
To pass.
At the end of the day.
Like, I wanted to, but I'm just like,
I mean,
why
same.
do-
Like, I
why
wanted
do
to,
I-
but also like,
why do
can't
I
afford
care?
that.
Yeah, like the cost of
I got
living is not
Spider-Man
getting
2 days
cheaper.
afterwards.
Yeah, we paid for RPX for this shit. We ain't spending more. You know what I mean?
It's big facts, man. Big facts.
We paid 2 tickets, but like it's beginning Friday, June 28th in select theaters. Some of these posters are limited, obviously, so not guaranteed
Right.
for
So
everyone.
if you go to the showing that ends up selling out and they don't have anymore, so you're just paying to see
To
a
watch
snippet
it.
from a film that comes out 2 days later,
And 6 minutes of a deleted scene.
and a commentary that would definitely be on the video release or
Yeah.
whatever on the
So it's like,
I love Endgame and I wanted to pass it, but they could have gave us a little bit more if they were gonna have us
I
support
think
them in beating
Avatar
Avatar.
had more footage, right? I feel like they
I think it had
had
8 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's 8 minutes.
Okay, that's significant. That's better than 6. Like, at least that's
Right.
closer to 10. Like, I don't know. Well, obviously they're gonna be like nerdy kids like us that are gonna want to see it again. But like I was like listening to other YouTubers and they're like, I'm not gonna watch this. Like, that's not enough for me to like go back. And I completely agree with it. It's like, I don't know. I mean, Marvel, you may have my money, but
You don't got that much of my money.
yeah, not if Spider-Man's like right there.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Not for a I can't get over it. The film comes out like 2 days afterwards. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, is it out of theaters right now? That's the question.
No. But it's like, it's weird because like in the big like marketing push they did for the re-release. I mean, for like whatever for this like added bonus, like, oh, watch it for the last time. So like they're making it seem like it's leaving the theaters, but like I guess it's weird because like there's an official amount of time of movies in the theaters, and there's those theaters that just keep movies in there forever, right? Like there's like there's like random movie theaters that stuff like Captain Marvel showing, but like officially speaking, that's out of the theater. So I think it's kind of like Endgame is wrapping up its official run, and like after this, it'll probably be out of the theaters in a week or two or whatever. But like there will always be those random movie theaters that are still showing it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go see it. That's all I gotta say. I can like bootleg it if I wanted to at this point with good quality. But I mean, I guess that's a wrap up for the Marvel news. So Daisy Ridley.
Before we move on to that, just
really
quickly, Keanu Reeves might be in Eternals, which we talked about, and that Kevin Feige was like, Kevin Feige was like, yeah, we're always talking to Keanu. We always want to try to get him on something, but like,
dude, I completely skipped the part.
Yeah, so that's why. But it's quick anyway. It's just like, they did the same thing with Jake Gyllenhaal. They, for Jake Gyllenhaal, Kevin Feige, because there's always for the MCU there was always rumors about Jake Gyllenhaal being in a film because he's a phenomenal actor. Yeah. So like Feige was like, yeah, for Jake Gyllenhaal, every film we really were talking to him, and we just had to find the right fit, and we found that fit with Magneto. So now I'll be up front. We're doing the same thing with Reeves, and we're talking to him for like every film. And if and when we find the perfect fit for him, we'll do it because he's a great actor. And so the rumor is that great fit is going to be the Eternals, but I guess we'll find out at Hall H.
Yeah, and to add on to that, like new names that are popping up, like we said this last week, Donnie Yen is getting popped up, and now like Millie Bobby Brown's like in talks. So
I'm down for that.
I'm for it, and I just want to make sure it fits, Keanu Reeves, and like I may not trust Marvel with my second release of Endgame, but I trust them with casting for this, And that was the surprising part.
We have our money, just not all of it.
Yeah, and like I trust. I trust. I mean, the interesting part was the Jake Gyllenhaal comment because I was like, oh, they really were eyeing him. And it's like, I wonder like what they considered, like how early they started to consider him and like all that jazz, and like what characters they even like maybe thought about putting him in, which is interesting. And I hear Mysterio's like a great character in the movie. Like I've heard reviews, like some like tweets about Far From Home, and I hear Jake Gyllenhaal's a great character, and like it's a good interpretation of Mysterio. So, will this be his only Spider-Man movie? Who knows? I don't know, but
I hope
it's
not, because he's just such a good actor, man. He's so good. He's so good. He's so underappreciated. He's so underrated.
well, that's the thing. Like Kate Blanchett was hella, and she's gone supposedly.
Damn true.
You know, so
Damn.
it's like they're not hesitant to take out big names. So, and I don't think these big names want to be tied because
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
like one example is Joaquin Phoenix. The only reason he's doing Joker because like he didn't want to have to deal with like
Yeah, 'cause
since
he was
it's
gonna
being a
he was gonna be
spinoff.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he was gonna be Doctor Strange. That
And
too.
then he was like, I'm not about the whole like MCU for life, because once you're all, like you're carrying a franchise.
And it's funny because I thought Benedict Cumberbatch would be the same way, and I was like, that was my dream. Benedict
did too.
Cumberbatch would be Doctor Strange. I was like, I dreamed it, and the fact that it happened, and I thought he would be like too tied up with Sherlock and like all these other like dramatic films. I'm like, oh my god, we actually got him. Like I was very excited. Like I love Doctor Strange. Like I said, I love paranormal stuff. Like I love Doctor Strange. So it's like I was just so happy that happened. And Keanu Reeves, god damn, he's so lucky. I was just watching Definitely Be My Maybe again, and he was so funny in that movie. It's a Netflix movie if you guys haven't seen it, with Ali Wong, and like I said, whoever is his manager is killing it because he's getting
Oh my gosh,
back to back. But I wanted to keep going, but like not like I want his manager to know when to chill so it doesn't get old, because out of all the like this popularity happened way too fast in my opinion, like over the course of like a couple weeks. You know what I mean? And I think what kicked it off really was Cyberpunk, and then all of a sudden Toy Story. And then John Wick 3 was like before. You know what I mean?
John Wick was like the appetizer that like got you into it.
Yeah. And I think Cyberpunk and I'm blanking out. Cyberpunk and Toy Story are like the main entree, so it's like we'll see how it goes. I just really, Keanu's such a good guy, so it's like I want the best for him, and I don't want, him to be like I don't want him to be like Sam Worthington, like he's just one and done, but I really doubt it. But I was telling my brother, because I was watching the movie, Bill and Ted 3 is coming out, and I was like, I can't see Keanu Reeves going from John Wick back to a silly character. So I don't know how that's gonna sit with people, because he's the honorary badass now of our generation.
Right? Yeah.
And like he's been on Fortnite, he's a skin on Fortnite, so it's like I don't know. I just hope everything goes well, especially I know he's gonna land a gig for Marvel. But
oh yeah.
Away from Marvel, this is something you found, which is very interesting, and I completely missed it. It was actually dropped today, so according to what's the place called?
Bleeding Cool, or who was it?
Okay, so this was found by We Got This Covered. So in short notice, it's WGTC. So it's kind of mentioned by a number of news outlets that Daisy Ridley is getting looked at for DC in the new Batgirl movie, which people kind of forgot. But they are saying that Daisy Ridley is their top choice at the moment. But they're not saying that the deal's done, but it's kind of just a rumor right now. But yeah, we haven't really heard anything. But coming off of Star Wars, I think that's a great move because I don't really know how much. Okay, so Daisy really honestly doesn't have a big filmography besides Star Wars. She's kind of like a nobody, and she's only did small films. But like other characters that have been previously rumored that the studio was looking at was Kristen Stewart for the role, and Jane Levy also wants to join in on the action. So Levy was actually my favorite choice
of all
the actresses who have been named so far. So, I mean, this is okay. We talked about this. MCU shows respect to the legends, but DC doesn't. So it's like we don't need a Batgirl movie. But I guess we're already going that route. Like, say, Birds of Prey, we didn't need that. Sure. Is it Barbara Gordon? Like, it's gonna be tied to Gordon. Like, we don't even have our Batman universe. Robert Pattinson is his. I don't know if it's his own trilogy, like Christian Bale.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like it's like its own thing.
Yeah. So like, how's this Batgirl gonna? Like, are they just never gonna show Batman if it's its own like thing? Like, I'll not even reference Bruce Wayne. Like, it's weird. I don't. Like, DC's on a roll right now. Let's just like, Shazam's a good movie. That was its last movie, so it's like we need to keep this momentum going. And just to add on, they actually had DC actually, or no, Warner Brothers just got a new CEO. So hold on.
Hopefully they get their shit together. Hopefully the CEO gets their shit together.
Yeah, well, I forget her name, but with her becoming CEO, maybe it's going to go the right way. She has a good record apparently, and it's funny because people are like, since Warner Brothers got a new CEO, they're already asking for the Snyder Cut. They're thinking that the Snyder Cut's going to get released.
Oh my God! Why do people care about that?
I know.
It's gonna be a doo-doo cut for a doo-doo film.
Well, that's the thing. Zack Snyder dropped news again, saying that another character was supposed to be in his Justice League film. I forget his name. Desaad, who was Darkseid. Yeah, Darkseid's assistant who helped make the what the fuck are his
Granny JoJo? The mother boxes?
What are the creatures called?
Oh, the parademons.
Parademons. Yeah. So in the animated movie, the guy who made the parademons made the army. I'm like, okay, cool. Who cares? Your movie still
right.
Suck.
Well, who cares?
You know what I mean?
Neat. Like, okay, next.
But that's like it's still annoying that it's making news, and they're like asking the new CEO, or no, they're expecting the new CEO to be like, oh, hey, please release the Snyder Cut, even though Tushihara is gone, who was the previous CEO. So it's like,
who cares about
no one cares.
The film's over. The film's released.
It's over.
It is what it is.
Yeah, no one. I don't. It's so fucking annoying. Like, I can't. Snyder's just so salty. I just can't. I don't even know.
And the fans. If it's like they're like 5,000 Snyder fans that like have a hard on for him, even though his films aren't that good. It's like.
You said 5,000. That's being generous. That's so.
the 300 fans.
Seriously, but all right, we'll go on to bonus round. Anything you want to say before we leave Daisy Ridley behind?
Nah, I mean I'm cool. I'm fine. I mean it is what it is. I'm fine with it. She's cool. I love Jane Levy. I love her in Suburgatory. So either one I'd be fine with. Obviously, Kristen Stewart, just because like I'm sure. Listen, well, first of all, what are the odds we get Kristen Stewart for Batgirl and Robert Pattinson for Batman? We're gonna get another Twilight, but I mean, listen, I'm always open for people to like expand their range, and I mean, maybe she could pull it off, but I just don't. I've had enough stunt casting. I've had enough giving them a chance. I'm ready for just like a solid pick from the get-go when it comes to DC. So I'm fine with either Jane Levy or Daisy Ridley.
Yeah. So we're going to the bonus round. So pretty much, we'll start off with Toy Story's box office, and pretty much. It was projected to make $123.7 million for the opening weekend, but it actually made $118 domestically, $120 foreign, with racking up to $238 million worldwide. So, according to Forbes, the report is that Toy Story took in $47.39 million on Friday, which includes the $12 million in Thursday previews. Comparatively, Toy Story opened $41 million. Toy Story 3 opened up in $41 million in 2010. While the most recent Finding Dory and Incredibles had opening day plus Thursday previews hauls of $56 million and $71 million respectively. So if we're looking at this totally like the box office with the updated projections, Toy Story 4 is looking to be the third best opening for an animated film, behind Incredibles 2, which is $182.6 million, and Finding Dory, which is $135 million. But it's ahead of Toy Story 3, which had $110.3 million. We still have to see this movie. Um, did you see Finding Dory? I still haven't seen it.
I
Maybe.
saw it on when it came out on Netflix.
Oh, okay, I didn't
It was
even.
it was just it was good. It was
It was
it
alright.
was good. Yeah, it was nothing. It was good.
But it's Toy Story
Neat.
killing it. I was surprised this movie was good, you know. But Pixar's not stupid, and I don't know what. Let's see what the current Rotten Tomatoes is for it.
I think
Uh,
it's 98, maybe. Last time I checked, maybe
if it
99,
is
100, 98.
98, yeah,
Yeah.
wow. 98 out of 329 reviews, and 95% of people liked it, which is insane. And what were your expectations of Toy Story 4? To be honest,
Uh, I was going in, I mean, when they announced it, I definitely was like part of the audience that was like, do we need this? Because three ended like perfectly. But at the same time, I love the character, so it's like, I mean, I guess we could do this. And now I'm hearing that it's a good send off. So I mean, I'm
yeah.
I don't know. Like I really enjoyed three. I really thought it was a really good ending. I'm not. Like, I know I just said I was part of the crowd that was like, "Do we need this?" But I'm also not part of the crowd that's angry, like, "Oh my God, we didn't need this." It's just, I love the characters. They could have just kept doing the little short films, and I would have been fine with it. If this they're saying, they're making it seem like this is the ending of a franchise, but also we also thought that with three. Um, I mean,
People are even saying that 5 could happen if they wanted to. So I'm like, all right, I feel like that's way too much. Like at that point, unless
yeah,
they have a story, but that's really pulling it.
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah,
But like, if we're moving on from Toy Story, like Lion King, their ticket sales came in, and they're outpaced all the pre-sales that started today. They're all outpacing all other Disney remakes, and is the second best of 2019 for pre-ticket sales, which is behind Avengers Endgame. So right now it's holding the record for best first day sales for a traditional Disney release, and it is pacing well behind 2017's Emma Watson and Dan Stevens star film Beauty and the Beast. At the same point in its sales cycle, it's also well on its way becoming the second best advanced ticket seller of the year. Like I said, Endgame. And Fandango did a survey of more than 1,000 people who bought the tickets, and 97% are the fans of the original. 95% are excited to see how The Lion King incorporates the original's film's iconic soundtrack. 82% are just films of the voice cast. 73% are fans of the recent Disney adaptations, and 41% have seen The Lion King on stage. This movie's gonna make stupid money.
oh
Stupid
yeah, oh
money.
yeah.
Like
Let me
it
just say, of the songs, everyone has their favorite, right? And like, of course,
mhm.
like there's so many iconic ones. But let me just say, one of my favorites, I feel like it's underrated, is the background song when like I think it's like spoiler alert when Mufasa dies. It's like no, but
No.
I think it's like Mufasa dies, and it's like da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na.
Yes.
Like that is such a yeah, it's like you feel, dude, you're
You
like your
feel
heart
it.
is like on fire. Like
And,
that song is so like it's part of the score and it's so underappreciated because it's
and
like it
he
creates
he's like
so much emotion.
he's like wake up. Wake
Yeah,
up.
oh, dude, just I'm getting
Dude.
goosebumps just thinking about it.
If they do that in theater, I'm like, fuck, man, PTSD
They
right
better
now.
play the song, man. They better play.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about too. The fact, like, I was like, when you said background, I'm like, what could he possibly be thinking? And then, you like hummed it, and I was like, yep, I know what you're talking about.
It's such a dude. It's like has so much emotion in it.
It does. And the fact that we have such a stacked cast, and plus, like, Mufasa is being played by the same guy.
They
Um,
know what's up. They know what's up.
but it's like, it kind of, it sucks. Because, well, not the movie, but, like, it sucks for Aladdin. Because I feel like people aren't, like, well, this is how I feel. Like, I feel like people aren't looking at Aladdin and appreciating it. Like, they kind of just think, oh, it's just, like, in the back burner. We're just waiting for Lion King. You know what I mean?
I
But,
agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it definitely made buku bucks, but I definitely agree with you.
yeah. You
I
know what I
definitely
mean?
agree
Like,
with you.
it definitely
Yeah,
did
it
make its
definitely
money.
it felt like they just were like, here you go. Like it felt
Yeah.
very like they just dropped it on our laps. Like Aladdin is up there with Lion King. It's like this like classic, you know, adults love it, kids love it, and I definitely feel like Aladdin came out in such a busy time and in between so many Disney live action re-releases that they were just like, Aladdin, here you go. You're like,
Yeah,
okay.
because it sucks because it was Beauty and the Beast, and then, well, that's the thing. Aladdin was between two heavy hitters, Beauty and the Beast and Lion King. So it's kind of unfair for it.
And a smaller hitter, Dumbo.
Oh, we're not even gonna talk about that. That got shit on though. I'm not gonna lie.
I still want to see it though. I feel like I feel like it. I feel like I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna be like, it didn't deserve any like that much, ragging. Like I feel like I'm gonna watch it and be like, this was dope. I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna look up the Rotten Tomatoes right now for it.
I don't think it was. Well,
Oh,
let me see.
okay. So it's at 47%, and 53% of the audience liked it.
But what's Aladdin's Rotten Tomato score?
That's a great
Was it
question.
65?
Yeah, probably is. So Aladdin is 57. So
Yeah. See, so I
But
expected much.
but the audience score is like 94%.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what's up? You know what was a real sleeper hit?
What?
Christopher Robin, baby. Christopher Robin.
Yo,
That's
yeah,
my movie, dog. That's my movie.
That's on Netflix right now.
That's my movie.
Yeah,
Got
that was a
7
sleeper.
It got 7.3 on IMDb, 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, 4.9 out of 5 on Facebook. It made 197 million on a $75 million budget. So
People
like
people did
that was a
sleep
little
on
that was a
that.
little bear that could.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor, man, making these low key like hits. To be
Oh
honest.
yeah, dude, totally,
And
totally.
now Doctor Sleep's gonna be on his resume, so I feel like that's gonna be good. To be
I
honest.
wish Birds of Prey was a traditional Birds of Prey film without Harley Quinn shoved down our throats because I would be hype about it. Like Ewan McGregor with the
Black
Black
Mask,
Mask dog.
yeah, I'm
Like I'd be
in.
like, hell yeah! But like I feel like it's just the title, Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's because it's disrespecting the rest of the characters, in my opinion. So
Yeah,
it's
man.
like what are you? I don't know. That's weird. Okay, so yeah, but like I said, Aladdin, I think it got thrown in the back burner. Christopher Robin definitely did. Well, that's the thing. Christopher Robin wasn't like
It
I
was
don't know.
always like
It's
it was
more
always
dramatic.
but
Like
it was like always expected to be. It was always like, listen, like this isn't like a Marvel. This isn't. We're not putting this out for a gajillion dollars. Like this is a small This is on the smaller side, and we're doing it. We're doing it.
yeah.
We're just doing it. Like we're gonna do it, and people are gonna have fun, and it'll be a fun little quick little thing. And I'm glad that that's how it was like. Yeah, it made enough money that it was like a good thing that they did. I love the film. I love the film. I love Winnie the Pooh. I have a soft. It's been my favorite since I was a kid. It's like I was there opening day with my mom. It was like great. I love that film.
I wish I could say the same thing, but I didn't really grow up on Winnie the Pooh, so I mean, but like I did see Christopher Robin, so like that was fine with me, and I liked it, and but like I completely forgot that that was a sleeper. But away from Disney, like we'll move on to like pop culture stuff. Halloween 2 is David Gordon Green's well received revival is moving forward. And Jamie Lee Curtis didn't confirm that she's coming back, but she has to come back at this point. But Collider reports
I
that
wish that wasn't the case.
really,
Yeah, because I feel like the thing that made Halloween 1 really stand out was the fact that they got like Jamie Lee Curtis, they got Laurie Strode back. But from a storytelling perspective, it's like the first one served its purpose. She literally, as it's next in our notes, she exorcised the mass demon from her life. Like the whole issue, the whole thing that was fresh about the Halloween reboot was like it got tiresome after like Halloween 3, 4, 5. She kept dealing with this. I mean, she wasn't in those, but like she was in Resurrection or whatever, or H2, whatever. But
yeah,
basically, I just feel like what made the Halloween reboot fresh was it was like Jamie Lee dealing with this, like it's a fresh look at her dealing with this trauma. And I feel like if they're gonna make Halloween 2, it should be just like Michael Myers survived that, but it's a fresh set of kills. But like, you could still tie it into Laurie somehow, like either with like this like the history of the family, or like maybe it was like someone who was also there that night, or just something. But like I feel like this is where you start at re-entering in the sequelitis, the sequel,
Like same formula.
yeah.
Well, that's to add your comment. So I did like Halloween 2018 because it added more depth to Laurie. But now that I think about what you said, remember that Michael Myers went after Laurie because she was just a random person that was there.
Right.
So it's like, why can't he just go after someone else? But yeah,
They
reference to Laurie, that'd be cool
exactly
because the point is he's just the shape and he just goes after.
exactly
He's just a babysitter killer. So I completely understand your perspective and I'm in agreement now. Like if we're gonna continue Halloween 2, it's just an updated version of the same shit.
Exactly.
But it's not in a hospital this time.
They even made it a point to remove the lore of her being his sister. So it's like they made it a point to like you just said, bring it back to the idea that he just straight up just was like murking people to murk people. So like why do we need this is where you start getting tired by like having the sequel where she comes back and like oh, you thought you dealt with this trauma before, but it's back. You thought it was safe to go into the water, it's back. So it's just like if you're gonna make a sequel, make a good sequel with a good cast that just moves on from Jamie Lee Curtis.
But that's the thing. We don't have an idea if they're trying to, do a handoff of the franchise to like a younger version. I think they should just end it.
I think so too.
I don't know what their plan is, to be honest, because obviously they have the daughter and then they have the granddaughter. So like in the sequel, I want one of them to die, like one of either the daughter or the granddaughter, just to make the stakes there. But I think like there shouldn't be a 3. But Hollywood talks with the money, the suits. We have to at least say that once in an episode.
Damn right, the suits.
But
want their money, want their franchise.
Like, they do. They want that guap. But they are looking to release this October 16, 2020. So they're going to start shooting after Labor Day. Whatever. I need to see footage as usual, but
Damn,
I feel like wish you go ahead.
You're right. Like I'm fine. All right, I'm fine with it being the granddaughter, but I wish there was a way to write Laurie Strode out without killing her, because I feel like one of the big things about 1 was like, I mean, from the reboot was that like it undid the really disgraceful death of her character in Halloween Resurrection with Busta Rhymes. You always have to mention that it has Busta
Rhymes. Yeah.
But like I feel like they need to move on from her character, but I just feel like it would just be a waste and a disservice, and just like it would be a repeat if they just kill her off. It's like I feel which a better writer who has more time could maybe think of something, but like they need to find a way to write her out without dealing with her dying again. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like okay, fine, I would be fine with the granddaughter having to deal with it again, and like you said, like the mother and the granddaughter and the mother dying. Because like you said, stakes, and just like I just feel like it's fine. Like we don't have a history with them, so I'm fine with one of them dying.
Yeah, exactly.
But they need to find a way to write Laurie Strode out without, because it's like you're like if you just do the film with the daughter, everyone's gonna be like, "Where's Laurie?" You know what I'm saying? Like everyone, they're like you can't not address it. So they have to think of a good way, because them doing that is what ended up like creating Halloween 4 and 5 and 6, when like they like had Laurie Strode die like off screen or something, and like her niece or something is like connected, or remember, like it's just like they end up writing themselves as like this like convoluted mess to try to deal with like getting like moving Laurie Strode's character. So I don't envy whoever has to do this, because they're kind of like in a corner.
Honestly, my perfect ending, like 1, there shouldn't be a 3rd one. 2, Laurie Strode kills him and then she like slowly dies. Like not dies, but she's at peace at like a sunset. Like she can move on with her life and like what's left of it.
So Logan.
Yeah, in a way, but you don't turn the cross and put it to an X, on her grave. But
you turn it to an H.
Yeah, that'd be so funny.
Looks like this Halloween is over. And then his hand and a knife comes out from the ground.
Yeah, and then Freddy Krueger grabs his mask, like fucking Jason Goes to Hell. And then spin-off franchise Michael Myers versus Freddy Krueger. But another news tidbit is Black Adam. It's pretty brief. With the director now in place, the long-delayed movie is finally taking shape, while the Dwayne The Rock Johnson has teased meetings with Marvel Studios. Yeah, right. Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige. It seems like this is finally going to happen. Yeah, right. Exactly. This sounds like the Inhumans. So, is it going to happen? Who knows?
Is it?
Yeah. Black Adam, pretty much The Rock's in like this red carpet thing. He's like, he has the same powers as Superman. Think about that. That's why it's so cool and exciting. Come on, legacy characters, baby. Why Black Adam? He's a villain. Like, okay,
Where's our Flash movie?
Where's our Flash movie? Where's our Superman sequel? Where's our Batman movie?
Where's our second chance at Green Lantern? Where that deserves it? Like,
yeah, where's the Green
why
Lantern
is Black
Corps?
Adam next on the list? Black Adam. Ugh, okay, you know what? We're not even gonna waste getting into this because it's just like, yeah.
We won't waste our bullshit on it, but I was gonna say that Shazam was a success, even though it didn't make like crazy amount of money, but it was a success to the studio,
especially for Shazam, for being Shazam.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a goofy character. It's a whole different take. But it's been confirmed by Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam, that they already been working on the script for the sequel. They expect to film in late spring or early summer of next year, meaning if everything goes according to plan, the camera should be actually rolling on the follow-up by this time next year. So it's like, that's just a fun fact, because, Shazam and Black Adam are the enemies of each other. So, like, I just don't know where a Black Adam film would go.
They're so intrinsically tied too. Like their costumes are the same.
Yeah.
Like they both get their powers from the same thing. So it's kind of like it just feels like such a weird thing for them to both get separate films. Like before the Flash. Like it's like okay.
But I'm thinking like, do these studios know like, hey man, this is legit a waste of money. Like even though it's The Rock, and like even though he did reboot the Fast and the Furious franchise when he started showing up, like Skyscraper didn't do well. You know what I mean? Like, don't just rely on celebrity power just to get this movie going.
Also, like similar to what Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool. I honestly think that like this is like The Rock pushing it to happen. He's like, I want to do this. Let's do this.
But
Like
no one wants this. No one wants that. Deadpool's different. Different.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Remember that? Because when that test footage came out, people were freaking out. You know
they lost their gosh darn mind.
And it happened. Like, that was the beginning scene of the movie. Like, I don't know. Fuck Black Adam. Anyways. Anyways. Is it?
Is it? No!
But another short tidbit, the Kingsman prequel. It was originally supposed to be The Great Game, but they're calling it The Kingsman.
I thought I was crazy when I read that. I was like, I read Kingsman. I thought it was the Great Game. Whatever, like the name you just said. I was like, I thought it was that. Like I was so confused when I read that.
I'm like, now it just sounds tacky. The Kingsmen, like
the Kings men.
Yeah, like, all right, you should just hit backspace, and just. It's supposed to come. I said go back. Yeah. It's supposed to come out February 14, 2020. It has a stacked cast, like Daniel Bruhl. Liam Neeson's supposed to be in it. Aaron Taylor Johnson, whatever. I just wanted to throw it out there because that's some nerdy stuff that for people who like that stuff. But I still have to watch 2 and finish it because I haven't finished it.
I mean, I like the films. I just think
Yeah.
I don't. First of all, I don't need a prequel.
No.
And second,
I hate prequels.
That's a weird name.
I hate prequels, man. I'm not a fan of prequels at all. Unless it was 5,000 years before, I'm cool with it. But that's like, So, like, to add on, Pattinson versus Hoult, the Hollywood Reporter apparently ran a poll of, like, who they prefer, Nicholas Hoult or Robert Pattinson. So a lot of the younger generations, like 18 to 29, prefer Robert Pattinson. If you scroll down, there's this little graph. And I'm for it. I mean, more of the older generations are preferring Hoult, maybe because like they grew up with like finding Twilight as like if you look at Twilight in retrospect and you're an adult, you think that's dumb. But if you're a teenager and you grew up with it, like say mainly women,
some men, I agree completely.
I think that's where that trend's coming from. I just can't see Nicholas Hoult as Batman. Am I the only one? I just
I mean,
don't
I
see
don't
it.
even I still have to watch what the movie you told me for Robert Pattinson. So like
Oh, good
I don't
time.
even know how I feel about anybody at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he can Pattinson could pull off a Bruce Wayne. I just got to see how he is in the cowl. Um,
Yeah, big fact.
he has the chin though. He has the chin, and I think I'm looking at Holt's picture. He could pull off the chin look, but I just don't see him being Batman. I don't know. I got really nothing. That's my only explanation for the graph. Different demographics and different perspectives on Twilight.
Yeah, I think it's a really good analysis of the graph, though. I think that's exactly it. I think it's like little,
Yeah,
the younger generation is like, oh, I love Robert Pattinson from Twilight, and the older generation is like, oh, Twilight sounded stupid back then. I don't need the Twilight kid as my Batman.
yeah. Because if you think about it, the people that are 18 to 29, they were teenagers when that came out, like 16, 15, 14. And I remember being in high school when New Moon. I think New Moon came out, and I was just like, I hate this shit. Like, I hate Twilight. Like, but next thing, Stranger Things, a trailer dropped.
Yes,
That
I'm hyped
that got
because
me
you don't know.
excited. Yeah, that got me excited.
I
I
got
want some.
my
You got your what?
I got my Stranger Things H&M collaboration attire, so I can wear it when I binge watch it. It's got the 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 tank top that Billy wears in the show from like Hawkins Pool.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, was that when he's like flirting with the moms and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems so funny. Do you know what? I want someone to die in this season, so the stakes.
No, no,
No, I
no,
think someone
no,
needs to die because
no. I don't
none of
know.
no one
No.
died. No
I
one
don't
died
care. Don't
seriously.
touch them. They're
Nah,
precious.
I think
Don't say it.
no, I think I'm gonna tell you who I think I want to
Don't.
die.
You better not say what I think you're gonna say. Say it. Don't say it.
No, hold on, I fucking forget his name. Steve Harrington needs to
How
die.
fucking dare you? Don't you?
Yes,
This is
I
my
did.
first. This is
You
my
know
first
that
bomb on this show. Don't you touch him. Don't you try.
Harrington has to die, dude.
No.
Harrington has to die.
No.
So imagine
No.
him. See, the fact that you
No.
knew I was gonna say that, some shit's gonna happen.
No.
I'm not fucking crazy.
No.
I'm not crazy. Because
Don't touch him.
if you think about it narratively,
I'm so scared going into this, man. I know. I know.
he's gonna die. He's gonna die. I'm putting money. Steve Harrington's gonna die.
I'm
'Cause
I'm so
think
nervous.
about it. He loses Nancy. He becomes friends with Dusty, the kids, and all them. He doesn't end up with Nancy. We don't really care about Jonathan, but obviously Steve has like a sweet spot to everyone. And I feel like he's gonna die, and then he's gonna die in Nancy's arms, and he's gonna apologize there before he goes out. So that's where it hits us.
No.
It's gonna happen,
No.
man.
No.
You
Hey,
know,
for me, it's like, see, I always have this thing where like like another one of my like personal things, like my like quirks. I always have this thing where it's like when a show has like a leading character, like a leading male, like a leading chief, a leading male, like a leader. Those are the ones that I end up being okay with because they always end up kind of like with passing because it always feels like it's expected and it feels like they're like the straight man, so they're not like, I don't know. I always end up being the most okay with them. Like I don't want them to, but I'm okay with it.
yeah.
So like Rick on The Walking Dead. Like if you ever like I don't know where they're at with the storyline. I don't want to spoil anybody. If they ever do drop them like a sack of rocks, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I expect it. I would be sad, but I would be fine with it. So like I'd be fine. Like I love Hopper. I love the
Hopper's gonna be fine. Hopper's gonna be fine.
like, but I would be like that's who I feel like should be. Like okay, fine. We need to up the stakes. He should be the one that goes because it's just like that would be a huge hit for them because it's like he's the one that's always protecting them. He's like the father figure. He's the one who's got the stuff on lockdown. So like if he goes out, then everybody's gonna be like, what the hell do we do now?
True, touche. That's a good counter, and I like that. I do, but yeah. So like my top, I'm looking at the list of characters. I don't see Jonathan
I mean,
dying.
I don't want like don't kill any of the kids. Like that's like nobody wants
No,
that. Don't do that shit.
no. That's gonna be
like,
heartbreaking.
Let that be known. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, I was not. I wasn't. I'm not that savage, but like I
No,
knew.
no. I'm just saying for like people at home. Like don't.
Yeah. No, but I knew one of the adults and teenagers have to go because the reason why I'm saying Steve is because his character development. We didn't like him at season 1. He was a dick, And then
I
at the
love it.
end of season 1, he was getting cool. He was like changing his character. Season 2, he grew up with the kids, and we fully see his development. Season 3, what other development can he have besides being friends with the kids? And like, there's a good spot for him to die
It's
in Nancy's arms, right
or
there,
he or
right
he
there.
he becomes the savior. He learns more about the stuff. I mean, there's still stuff we can do with him. I
Well,
don't know,
he
man.
he
Listen,
already he already is the savior in season 2 because he already helped the kids burn the
okay,
center court.
he can finally win a fight.
Oh yeah, against
They
what's
could
his
give
name,
him that.
Billy,
He can
against
finally
Billy.
he can finally because in the first season he gets beat up by Jonathan. The second season he gets beat up by Billy. Can we? In the third season he needs to fight somebody and really fuck him up.
Okay, that's true. And then die. There you go.
No, no, no,
He's gonna,
no,
dude. I have a feeling
no.
that Steve Harrington. We're
Oh,
gonna have.
I have the worst feeling that that's the case, but I'm just in denial.
See, I'm laughing because you knew I was gonna say that. You
Oh, I
knew
knew
I
it.
was gonna say it.
Absolutely.
Because we're gonna have quite a week next week because we have Spider Man and then we had the next day we have Stranger Things to binge. So it's
Oh, I'm
like
gonna binge it the whole day too. I'm doing. I
it's
already told my parents.
it's yeah, Mom, I can't talk.
No,
You
she's
got
watching with me.
Oh, she's watching it. Yeah, there's 8
Yeah.
episodes in season 3, so heads up, people. Last season was 9, so this is 8. It's a little shorter, but I think it's the right amount of episodes for this type of show.
Well,
So
season two had that side episode with the flashback, the whole they
the
like took
whole
away from the
sister,
main plot.
yeah,
Yeah.
that felt forced.
So like now you're like, okay, we don't have to worry about that extra episode.
Yeah, but like, is that gonna come back? Like, is she gonna come visit her? Like,
I hope not. I'm fine with it just being like,
because I
I'm
thought they were
fine.
gonna, I thought they were gonna go that route where the other enhanced human beings all come to the town of Hawkins for like a final battle.
Probably season 4.
But like, how many seasons do we want this for?
Well,
I
they've
feel like
always
this.
said they've always said they plan like 4 or 5, and like they even asked the cast last like on the press tour for this season. They're like, hey, how many do you want? And everybody was like, yeah, either 1 or 2 more, probably 1 more. So they've always planned 4 to 5.
Okay, good.
I think 4 is a sweet spot.
I think 4 is perfect, so we definitely should kill Steven in this one.
Don't
So.
don't.
And then Hopper dies in the last one. So he
Or
dies.
Hopper dies, or he dies in this one. And if we have to kill Steve, then it's in the next one. In
See,
the
I
last
think
one.
I think we should kill Steve in this season, and then kill Hopper because you don't know where Eleven's gonna go for a dad. So we kind of keep it open ended. So who knows? Who knows? These are just our ideas. But listen, we got till next week. So our final tidbit is pretty much Flash Gordon remake is in the works by Taika Waititi. You know, he did Thor Ragnarok. So this Flash Gordon, apparently it's animated.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, let me read up on it. Blah 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 blah. So Taika looks to set to write the script and head up the animated Fox/Disney project. Yeah, it's animated. That's weird. But his camp
That is
is
weird.
his camp is saying that it's kind of too early to be confirming it. But the reboot comes almost 40 years after the original Flash Gordon movie. And I didn't really grow up with Flash Gordon, but like the fact that Taika's getting more and more projects, and he's literally the coolest director in Hollywood today, I'd like to say. But I think this is seeing Flash Gordon from the outside and watching Ted. I think this is like the perfect tone for Taika because it's kind of like
Yeah, I
a
agree.
silly concept, but he can have fun with. But the fact that it's an animated version, I think that's kind of a lost cause.
I think so too.
Did you grow up watching Flash Gordon? I think that's way ahead of our time, but
Nah, fam.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just reading that it's animated. I don't know why I thought I was thinking Masters of the Universe because I was like, oh, they're making that movie, and I thought he was like signed on to do that, and I was actually really hyped. But then I saw Flash
Yeah,
Gordon,
same.
and then I read it said animated. I'm like, fuck. Like, do I even care? Like, at this point, to be honest. But, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about Flash Gordon. It's just about okay. So for the film plot, it follows an American football player, Flash Gordon, and his adventures after his plane is hit by a meteorite and crashed into the laboratory of a Russian scientist named Dr. Hans Zarkov before ending up on the rocket ship to the planet Mongo. So that's a lot, and that's hella 80s. whatever.
Neat.
Anything- yeah, that's all I gotta say. But yeah, anything to wrap up this episode, man?
I can't wait for Spider-Man. That's it. It's
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Stranger Things. But guys, thank you again for tuning in for the movie talk again with me and Keanu. Have a good holiday. But I mean, we'll have an episode next week, but who knows if we're gonna be on time. But yeah, I don't know. But episodes every Monday if we're on time. Life Talk is on Wednesday, so this Wednesday I'm going to be dropping. Actually, tomorrow is Wednesday, so I'm going to be dropping my Life Talk episode. And remember, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. And be sure to follow our page on Facebook, and follow us on YouTube. So I'll see you guys next week.